So boys and girls, last time you were here, you made some beautiful prints with our jelly plates. You used leaves, you made textures using different colors. And so now we need to do something with these because they are just too pretty to not share. So actually today you're going to be creating a composition with them. But first I want to talk to you about texture. Actual texture is where you can actually feel the texture. Implied in texture is where it's more drawn on a flat piece of paper, like this person who's trying to draw fur. You can actually draw fur that doesn't feel like fur, or you can go and touch a dog and feel actual fur. Today, on some of your prints, you have textures that look like it should be really rough, but if you feel it, it's going to be as smooth as your piece of paper because it's implied texture. You made it with the print. Whereas if you were to take a piece of metal and actually draw into it, you would emboss or imprint a texture into it, which is actual texture. So today you're going to be looking at these pictures of implied texture, and you're going to be drawing the real texture onto the metal. If you are completely scrambled in your brain about what I mean about texture, you're going to get it in a minute. So when you sit down, the first thing you need to do is draw out some sections for you to fill in. You're not going to just simply start drawing texture. You need to create some lines, some sections. If you want to, you can go over it. But if you're using your pencil and you're doing it really lightly, this might happen to you. When you flip it over, the part that you've been drawing hard with the pencil, you are going to feel that texture. But if it's really light and wimpy, you won't. So as you're working along, here I'm doing sort of a grassy texture. It's super satisfying working in those different sections so that you can, as soon as you finish up with one type of texture, you can go and try another one. And so here I'm doing kind of a wavy thing. And then every once in a while when your hand is starting to hurt and you're saying, I just can't do it anymore, just encourage yourself by flipping it over and feeling what you've done, because you're going to notice that they all feel different. So here I am doing kind of like a ripple, like raindrops in a pond. I'm actually doing sort of organic textures a little bit just because that's what we were doing. This one is super satisfying for some of you who like to make noise. It's just where you're going bang, 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 bang with the tip of the pencil. Notice that I'm always working on that piece of cardboard because that is what will allow it to take the texture. Now, hear me clearly. When you're finished, you are going to cut it into 3 pieces. What did I say? 3. Did I mean 3? Yes, I did. Because you're going to take those 3 pieces and use them together with your paper from last week. And I've actually gone and cut a shape. It's either going to be a circle or a square out of a few of your pieces. And your job is going to be now to take these prints of implied texture, these pieces of metal of real texture, and you need to figure out the most visually pleasing way to arrange them on a paper so that you can share what you did with others. This can sometimes take people days. They do this with photographs, they do with this scrapbooking, that they move it here, they move it there. If you've ever watched someone arrange furniture, it's the same deal. You arrange it, you think that someone else thinks it looks great, and then they go and they take it all off and start all over again. Today, you're going to have to make some decisions. So I just want to show you some options. This would be a very symmetrical arrangement, where I have basically what's on the left is the same as what's on the right. Here's another symmetrical one, a little bit different from the last one. I'll have these on your tables. This one is also pretty symmetrical, where I have on the same on the left as I do on the right. Whereas this next one is going to be asymmetrical, where I'm just doing a little smattering of collections. And I'm basically, this style is designed to have the person looking at your art sort of travel around. They're first looking at maybe something that's just texture, and then you're bringing them to that heart, and then you're bringing them down. You're just having them, their eyes sort of travel around, where everywhere they go on your composition, there's just another thing for them to find and to be amazed by. So once you have your composition in mind, pray no one blows on it. That's the first thing. And then the next thing is you now have to glue this thing down. The first thing you're going to do is glue down the large pieces. And notice that I'm going along the edges. I'm also using the squared off edge of my paper almost a little bit as a ruler or a guide to help me so that when I glue it on, it's straight. Sometimes, if you peel it up real quick, if it doesn't look straight, but if you just sort of hover above and position it first, you can usually get it on there pretty good. Now here, this is a little bit like the memory game because sometimes, oh, that's crooked, lady. No, 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 don't do that. Oh, getting better. No, not quite yet. No, not quite. Yes. Do you see how if you use the edge of the paper to kind of help you guide it in, you'll get it more straight. I love how I can see the color through the little circle that's cut out there. Do you see how I did that? So if that kind of happy arrangement happens for you, that's really awesome too. And there I was even using my silver as a way to kind of use it as a ruler to help me get it straight. So you are first always going to glue the big pieces down first. Once you've done that, and I'm about to realize this too, that I did not glue it exactly back the way that I had arranged it. And so now I got that big piece there, and to the left of that one with the little heart, I'm like, ugh, I don't like how that. Now I feel like I'm covering up too much of it. So it could be like here, the balance, it feels a little bit like it's tipping to the right. When I put that circle there, that kind of makes it feel a little bit more balanced to the left. So you'll just, again, play around with it. So now I'm doing the circles. And then lastly, I'm going to be putting down the metal. And you can only imagine that glue stick, although it is amazing, is not sticky enough for the metal. So for that, we have these glue dots. Please, I don't even know what to say about this. The struggle is real. It's going to be once, twice, 3 times up. Then finally you're going to get it. If you just use one glue dot, that's fine with me. I even tried putting it down on the paper, thinking it might be easier. It wasn't. But it's just what you have to do. But it's super sticky and it's going to hold your metal down so that it looks really, really awesome. And by the end, you're going to have just this amazing composition of all the things that you made, along with your texture. Please be sure to rubber on the back. And on the tables, I will even have a lot of the arrangements that I showed you in this video, just so that you can see if you need some inspiration there. Have fun.